I need your help, and that is this 80 series. It's fantastically set up, and I'll tell you how it is set up, but it's worn out, and I need to know where to go from here. Here at mmmm 4Drive, I'm all about educating and building the 4-wheel-drive community so we can wheel well. I'd love you to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can get all the notifications. So when I bought this 80 series about 5 years ago, I knew exactly what I wanted to build, and I knew it was going to be on an 80 series. 5 years later, I've got the vehicle I want. It is absolutely perfect for my needs, but in those 5 years, I have wheeled it hard and I've basically cracked the body apart. It's suffering. The whole front clip here is busting off the 80 series. The panels, the radiator mounts, the body mounts, they're all cracking. The C-pillars on both sides are cracking, and on one side it's starting to crack up through the roof. So it is in a pretty bad state of repair. But it's totally set up the way I like it. You know, it's twin locked, it's got nitro 4.56 diff ratios in there, it's got the automatic, it's got the 1FZ FE 4.5 petrol motor. Love that motor. It's running on LPG as well. You know, it's got the 33-inch tyres. With those ratio diffs, it's actually under-geared, so she goes really well on the open road. It's really good off-road. Best conversion I did was actually changing those ratios. So there's just all of this stuff that I absolutely love about it. I enjoy driving it, but it needs a new body. Now, what do I do? So some of my options are get another 80 series and do a body swap. Probably about 2 weeks work. You see, a lot of the accessories I've got in here need to be freshened up as well. So the wiring totally needs a rewire. The rear draw system in the back, which I made myself, suits me perfectly, but it's probably about 8 years old because I built it in my previous 80 series, and it's got a bit loose now. It needs to be tightened up, freshened up, a new paint job, some new skins on certain bits and pieces. It suits the Waco 60 CF60 fridge that I'm running, but that's about 8-9 years old. It's busted and all of that. Still works great, but you know, it needs a freshen up. I've got a 60-litre water tank in the back there with a pressure pump and all that. That works great. I've got lights in the rear tailgate, so at night it works. The list goes on of how I've set this vehicle up, and it suits our needs. It's twin locked, ARB air locker in the rear, E-locker in the front. Love that twin locked action. Where do I go from here? Do I sell this as you see it with all of these accessories like the Ultravision lights on there? Do I sell it, you know, and let somebody else enjoy it as it is? Somebody else who says, you know what, I've got a body or I want a body, and they're prepared to do the body swap, and you know, they'd end up with a really, really fully kitted out 80 series that's ready to, you know, hit the road. Like, you know, absolutely. That's one option. I don't know. I need your help, I really do. I'm not interested in ute chopping it just to get rid of the cracks in the back end there. A ute doesn't suit our needs. A panel van or a station wagon like this does. Do I go for a 105 or a 100 series? I'm a little bit old school in that I love the live front end. But I could possibly look at the 100 series with the IFS and the V8 petrol motor in it. I think it's the 2UZ. Auto, I could consider something like that. So that maybe that would be good. You see, one of the other elements that comes into this is I'm actually in the process of buying an 80 series as a race car because I want to compete in the Cliffhanger 2021 race. And so I need a decent tow truck now, or tow vehicle. This will physically tow it, but it won't legally tow that weight. So maybe upgrading to the 100 series is good from that perspective. So many questions, so many options. I genuinely don't know what to do. Another option would be take all of the fruit out of this and like buy another 80 series and swap the fruit over. That could work. Do I want to do a build from the ground up again? Like if I buy a 100 series, ground up build, get a clean skin. So I've got to twin lock it again. I've got to put the 3-inch suspension in. This has got a 3-inch Tough Dog suspension in there. 5 years I've beat on that suspension. The ride height is still exactly the same today as it was when I put those springs in. the shocks need a freshen up. Hey, they're a consumable item, and I've beat on them, and you know, a set of adjustables from Tough Dog wouldn't go astray. Yeah, so your ideas would be greatly appreciated. Do I completely go somewhere else, you know, a different brand? Like I see a lot of people going around in the Patrols, the Y62s. Do I swap over to that? And I mean, I'm talking mates who are Toyota men, and they're liking those trucks, but then it comes down to budget. Yeah, I really don't have one. I'm not a rich bloke. I do what I can with what I've got. So I make a lot of my own gear and stuff, and you know, try and do contra deals like these lights. You know, I'll do some videos for you if you give me a set of lights. And by the way, these Ultravision lights are probably the best lights out there in my opinion. Australian made. They are incredible lights, really good quality. You know, these RFI antennas, you know, the guys just, you know, love me to run their products on my vehicles, and I love running them. They're a digital antenna. This is my UHF, and that's the Selfie antenna for the Selfie unit I got through RFI. The UHF I'm running is an Oricom dual band radio. You know, again, I did a video for them and they gave me a radio. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of contra stuff, and not to say these companies wouldn't support me if I did a new build, but it's a lot of work. No matter what way I look at it, I haven't got the money to just go out there and buy something that's already kitted out. Finding something that was perfectly kitted out the way I want it, probably not going to happen. So I'm probably stuck with a whole lot of work, whichever way I look at it. And I just don't know what to do. But I reckon you guys are going to give me some great ideas. I reckon you guys are going to help me think outside the box. So put your comments below, give me some pictures, give me some stories, give me some perspective. I'm open to everything, and let's see where we end up. All right guys, I'm Mad Matt. Stay safe on the trails.